Michael believed his tourist dollar gave him free rein to mock the royal guard. He tossed a vibrant magic ball at James Winters, expecting nothing more than an irritated glare. Instead, James unleashed a miraculous display that left everyone stunned. What happened next not only shocked the crowd, but also turned a moment of disrespect into an unforgettable miracle. How did a single act transform tradition and earn James unexpected heroism? London, early morning. A light fog wrapped around the historic buildings as James Winters stood guard on Horse Guards Parade. His stern eyes watched the crowd, embodying discipline and honor. His uniform was spotless, the iconic bearskin cap perfectly in place, a true symbol of British heritage. Today, a group of tourists had gathered, led by Michael, a young guy obsessed with his smartphone. Michael and his friends clearly didn't respect tradition. "Hey man, smile! We're making your day!" Michael yelled, trying to get James to crack a smile. Seriously, who does that? It's like asking a statue to dance. James stayed calm, though inside he felt the tension rise. "I'm a tourist. I'm paying money. Entertain me," one of Michael's friends shouted, waving James's cap mockingly. The crowd around them laughed, some filming the antics, adding fuel to the fire. James held his ground, but it was obvious the traditions he upheld were being challenged. Michael wasn't satisfied. "Come on, give us something to remember," he demanded, leaning closer. The guard's patience was wearing thin, but he remained composed. Meanwhile, the onlookers started murmuring, some amused, others clearly annoyed. James glanced around and saw elderly spectators shaking their heads. "Really, guys? This is a place of respect," one muttered. But Michael pushed further, attempting to grab the bearskin cap to knock James off balance. "Let's see you keep that up," he taunted. The crowd gasped. James took a deep breath, maintaining his stance despite the escalating behavior. "Sir, please," he said calmly, making it clear enough. Unfazed, Michael tossed a colorful ball toward James, calling it his magic ball, to break the guard's unshakable demeanor. As the ball flew through the air, everyone held their breath, expecting a reaction. James, eyes fixed on the incoming object, stood his ground. Little did they know, this was just the start of a scene that would make everyone believe in miracles. The tension on Horse Guards Parade thickened. Michael and his crew weren't backing down. They were ramping it up. "Come on, show us how you stand," Michael demanded, holding James's bearskin cap just out of reach. He flung coins at James's feet, the clinking sound met with snickers from the group. "Seriously, who throws coins to annoy someone?" James stayed professional, balancing the cap carefully while ignoring the taunts. Inside, his patience was wearing thin, but he kept his expression stoic. Meanwhile, the crowd was split. Some laughed at the tourists' antics, others shook their heads in disapproval. "This is disrespectful," muttered an elderly woman nearby. "We all know, right? It's like watching someone trash a museum exhibit." Michael wasn't done. He grabbed the cap again, trying to unbalance James. "Give us something real," he shouted, his voice dripping with entitlement. The guard's movements were precise, every gesture measured. The contrast was glaring. James's disciplined calm versus Michael's chaotic disrespect. One tourist tripped over his own feet trying to get closer, eliciting a mix of gasps and chuckles from the crowd. "Smooth move, genius," someone whispered. The onlookers were getting restless, some filming the spectacle, while others started voicing their frustration. "This isn't a playground," another bystander commented. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, Michael pulled out a shiny, colorful ball. "Check this out, James. A magic ball to break your tough guy act," he sneered, tossing it toward the guard. The crowd held their breath, eyes locked on the impending impact. Everyone was waiting for James to lose it, to finally react. But James remained unmoved, the ball hurtling towards him. "Really, Michael? You think this is funny?" James replied calmly, his voice steady despite the chaos. The ball struck his shoulder, the impact sending a brief ripple through his uniform. Silence fell over the crowd, the anticipation hanging in the air like a storm before the lightning. The stage was set. Everyone was on edge, waiting to see if James would snap or rise above it all. Little did they know, This moment was about to turn everything upside down. The ball hit James square in the shoulder. Everyone expected an angry guard, but instead, light exploded from the sphere. A brilliant beam shot out, transforming the chaos around them. Buildings shimmered, colors intensified, and the air buzzed with energy. Seriously, was this some kind of movie special effect? James didn't stick to protocol. He saw a little boy nearby, eyes wide with fear. Without thinking twice, James reached out. The beam formed a protective shield around the child, silencing the crowd. The tourists froze, jaws dropped. "Did that just happen?" someone whispered. Michael watched, jaw clenched. Realization hit him hard. He stepped forward, voice shaky. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect your traditions. I just wanted to have fun." Classic overcompensation, right? James kept his cool. "True traditions don't tolerate mockery. Respect what makes us strong. No drama, just straight talk." The crowd shifted. Applause broke out, people cheering for the guard. The magic had flipped the script. Suddenly, the tourists were the ones looking foolish. Phones whipped out, capturing the miracle. Social media exploded with clips of James saving the boy. Comments poured in. "Hero. Respect traditions. Tourists need a reality check." Meanwhile, Michael and his friends hung their heads, understanding the gravity of their actions. James stood tall, the shield dissipating. He adjusted his cap with a small smile. "Back to duty," he said, as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. The crowd dispersed, but the message was clear. Traditions matter, and disrespecting them has its consequences. As the sun broke through the fog, James resumed his post, the epitome of honor and resilience. The once mocking tourists left with a story they wouldn't forget, while the onlookers carried the tale of a guard who turned provocation into a miracle. Who knew a magic ball could restore respect? Michael and his group were immediately summoned by the authorities on the square. Their antics had become the talk of the day, not just among the onlookers, but also online. The video of the miraculous event went viral within hours, sparking intense debates about respecting traditions and cultural heritage. James Winters was hailed as the hero of the day. His quick thinking didn't just save the boy, it upheld the very values he represented. People started seeing the guards differently, realizing that beneath their stern exteriors were true heroes, ready to protect and honor their legacy. By evening, James returned to his post, adjusting his cap with a subtle smile. "Back to duty?" He nodded, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. A woman watching nearby joked, "Guess it's showtime again?" eliciting a chuckle from James. The crowd began to disperse, but the impact lingered. Memories of how tradition and bravery turned a provocation into a miracle stayed with everyone. Social media buzzed with praise for James. Comments flooded in. "Respect our traditions. True hero. Tourists need a reality check." Meanwhile, Michael and his friends stood apart, their earlier bravado replaced with shame. They had learned the hard way that disrespecting culture doesn't go unnoticed. James felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had stayed true to his duty, protecting not just a child, but the integrity of his role. As night fell, the square quieted down, but the story of the guard who turned mockery into wonder remained a powerful reminder of the importance of respect and honor.